Freedom is taken for granted in this country, the freedom to aspire to whatever dreams one has. America provides an environment where an individual could, as Henry David Thoreau so eloquently phrases in his book Walden, step to the music which he hears, however measured or far away. In such a country, the American dream developed, and it is defined as the achieving of success and prosperity through hard work and perseverance. Throughout the 20th century and into the 21st century, the effort of some that followed this dream pulled America forward to become a more benevolent, much more prosperous, technologically advanced, and a more open-minded country. All of these innovations had to be supported by a strong base of abundant wealth. The American dream of this time period was chiefly to gain vast amounts of wealth, and in return, that wealth allowed for the country to grow in numerous ways. Looking at the homes of those individuals that followed the American dream allows us to better understand the connections between their wealth and progress in America. Andrew Carnegie was the epitome of an individual that achieved success through the American dream. Born in a poor Scottish family, he eventually came to America, went into the steel industry, and became one of the richest men of his time by the early 1900s. Pictures of the Carnegie Mansion explain enough about his wealth. The mansion was 4 stories high, including the attic, and its basement descended another 3 levels with a total of 64 rooms. Inside there was a library, with a desk so large it had to be made inside the library, and the mansion also had its own elevator. His story truly is one of rags to riches, and this could not have happened if not for the opportunity the American dream gave him. However, he was not a miserly man, and soon after he accumulated a significant amount of wealth and fulfilled his dream, he donated more than $350 million, which was 90% of his wealth. His fortune lay upon the education he was able to obtain, and so he found education to be the key to success, building more than 2,900 public libraries in America. Through his essay The Gospel of Wealth, he explains that it is the duty of the rich to enable those of lesser means to enjoy education and enrich lives. Today he is called the father of American philanthropy. His significant humanitarian contributions to American society remain as an example for others to follow, and he pulled America towards a more altruistic society. The 1950s and 1960s was a time of abundant wealth as well. However, the wealth of this period was distributed evenly among the growing professional middle class instead of among few rich men as in the early 1900s. As many Americans' incomes rose, the American dream became a dream to have a professional job and live in a Levittown home. The number of identical houses that made up Levittowns amounted to be thousands in less than 5 years, marking the affluence of many. The affluence in return stimulated the economy. This was the time when the first department stores and the fast food chains began growing rapidly, and when the theory of dynamic obsolescence developed. Dynamic obsolescence was the feeling that whatever one already owned was inadequate as soon as a new product came out. Credit cards were also introduced, and more people and businesses were dedicated to the pursuit of happiness by buying. Many more individuals' wealth now led America to a flourishing economy. In the 1990s, the wealth is once again built up on the minority, as it was in the early 1900s. However, this does not mean that America was moving backwards. Bill Gates, the co-founder of Microsoft, is among that minority, and led America to yet another direction of prosperity. Having accumulated his wealth by principle of the American dream, he became one of the richest men on earth. His home, named Xanadu 2.0, epitomizes how far America has come with the advancement of technology and how America truly was brought to the leading edge of technology by the work of this man. His house is a complicated system of climate adjustment so that rooms could adjust to any individual's needs as long as the individual has a sensor with them. Such a home would only have been imaginable in a science fiction novel. This shows the extent of what an individual is able to achieve through the American dream and symbolizes the incredible amount of wealth Gates is able to contribute to this nation. Also, not only did Gates contribute to society simply through pursuing his dream, but he is also a philanthropist as Carnegie was, and makes very generous donations to many people in poverty around the world and to scientific research funds in the United States through his own organization, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. The success of the American dream enabled Gates to create the wealth, both in terms of knowledge and money, which brought America forward as a leading nation in the world. Today in 2011, I still see the American dream as the pursuit of wealth, and that wealth eventually helped the United States become a stronger nation in some way, whether it be in the humanities, technology, or solely economy. The greatest stride in recent years is the breakthrough of the racial barrier in the White House. For the first time, an African-American politician was elected as President of the United States. I see this cultural, ethnic, and racial breakthrough happening in more local levels as well. In home interior designs, such mix of cultural diversity in home designs has come just recently. This also does come back to the monetary aspect, for one cannot afford to create a Japanese garden without the wealth. Moreover, it is harder to accept other cultures when one is poor and is struggling to make ends meet, for an increase in immigrants mean more competition to survive for the native poor. However, the fact that there is a change in home design today indicates that the American dream in attaining wealth by its principles has reached a point where the majority is able to afford such a home and is able to afford to open their minds to cultural differences. A sample design of today's house that I made captures this progress with a Japanese garden, American-style kitchen, French-style bathroom, and a Chinese-style bedroom. The American dream has always embraced the concept of freedom and equal opportunity, and it will continue to do so for generations more of natives and immigrants. The dream would always be about making money, but in the end, that is what makes the world go around. The progress America has made throughout the 20th and the 21st centuries all required an abundance of wealth. Hopefully, the next generation billionaires will look back to these people and their success and contribute their wealth to the nation so that it will become an even stronger country than it already is today.